Hey man, welcome back to Man Time. Today's episode, we're going to talk about eradicating the biggest threat to the homestead, in my opinion. Welcome to Man Time. So, I don't know about you, but we've all got our things that we're kind of afraid of, right? Spiders, cockroaches. In my opinion, it is fire ants. Fire ants are super prevalent down here in the south, and I am in a constant fight and a constant battle to eradicate the fire ants, because they build bigger and bigger and bigger mounds until they're just like taken over. So I've got some huge mounds up by the new homestead. I'm going to talk about today the chemicals that I use to take care of those fire ants. They're getting harder and harder to find. So like websites that I used to be able to go to, and even Amazon, you could get like the good stuff from Amazon. But there's two main pesticides that I use. One is going to be permethrin, and this is a termicide insecticide. So again, it works good for termites. Termites is another huge one. Right, so I use the permethrin, and then I also use biffin, which is bifenthrin. Now, you used to be able to get these in like 30% concentrate mixes. If you go on Amazon anymore, they're 10% mixes, so you're having to add 3 times as much as I used to when you could actually get the good stuff. So now there's like a couple websites online that you can go to and actually get the good stuff. But this is the highest concentration I can find. Now we're down to 25%, and I think the permethrin is the same. But for like a really strong mix, I'll do 1 ounce to 1 gallon, and that does a great job of being a really nice high concentrated mix. I've also got a pull-behind trailer sprayer with a little like 6-foot boom or 5-foot boom or something with 2 sprayers on the end, and I'll mix typically like 6 ounces to that 25 gallons. And that does a really good job for just kind of a large area coverage, right? Because you've got the bugs that are kind of traveling through that area, and they'll pick up the poison as they're moving through there. But for a small concentrated lot, like I'm going right to the fire ant's nest, like poking it, getting the ants all stirred up, I like a nice 2 ounce to 2 gallon mix. So I need to put some more water in here. This foamed up. And another thing, when you're filling up your sprayer, you want to fill it up with water first and then the poison. So I'm going to fill this up, we'll get some poison, and we'll get to an ant mound and see how it works. All right, man. Well, I am out here. I have got some leftover building materials here, and fire ants love to find little structures like this, little things to burrow under, little things to make their nest under, and now they've started to branch out. You're also going to find them around anything, really, like trees. So I've got another example over here, but let's start out with these. They just started making a mound, and we're going to solve that problem right now. I'm going to get the camera in there real close, and we'll see. I did end up using about 3 ounces of the 25% bifenthrin, and we'll see what that does in a time-lapse situation on these things. Yeah, I was a little hesitant to make this video, but if you're a man like myself and you want to be self-sufficient, you're really going to want to know, what chemicals to use, how to use them, so on and so forth. Make sure to, of course, read the manual on all the safety precautions. But look at how active these things just got. You're going to want a good stick where you can really dig around there, and really stir up some activity inside of here. And we're just going to see, what kind of, another piece of advice might be to stand upwind and then get yourself a good stick like this where, again, you can really agitate them. Okay, they're looking pretty agitated. Let's see what this does. Now, I didn't quite fill the sprayer all the way up to 2 gallons. It was still quite a bit of foam in there, but you'll see it's kind of a milky white. That's kind of the indicator, that you've got at least a good amount in there where it should do some work. Yeah, you can see how fast that is. It's pretty aggressive. Now they're really swarming around time. It's most smell from the also. Seems to be doing a pretty good job. Let's go hit another mound. All right, next one we've got is kind of right at the base of this tree. I'm going to try to get around here. Now this one looks like it may have gone a little bit dormant. It definitely looks less active than it has in the past. So, I don't know. But let's just see kind of what's going on in here. Nope, it seems to be pretty good and active still. There we go. Get these guys woke up. Okay. Yeah, I usually start by kind of going around the base, you know, and just getting a really good kind of spray around their escape route. But yeah, that one has gone a little bit dormant, which is a good thing. Maybe they moved on to this new one that I just got done spraying. All right, one thing I did neglect to mention here, I put some Dawn dish soap in there to give it a little bit of better adherence. But here you can see that fire ants have used this bit of decaying wood here as their home. And we'll see how this works on this. Just give it a nice douse like that, and that's pretty much all you need with this higher concentration. And the Dawn dish soap really helps it adhere and stick to them, you know. But yeah, this is that sweet gum. This sweet gum isn't that old, but it decays again so fast and ends up breaking down into kind of like balsa wood, and just, it's not good wood. Okay, here is a really big mound, and let's see what this mix does for this one. This is a huge mound, huge mound. Another good thing with this high of a concentration is the perimeter spraying. So just going around the perimeter of your property and doing some spraying that away. Okay, lots and lots of ants here. There we go. All right, man. Well, that was the insecticide that I'm using. Again, this stronger mix is going to be the perimeter spray. This is actually the second time I've sprayed. And the reason why I'm so concerned about this, there was one time I was baling hay, and I remember I was using a Vermeer Rebel round baler, and the thing was just junk. The knives didn't work. I was using it on somebody else's place. Anyways, the twine wasn't cutting, right? So I had to get up under there and like physically cut it. Well, one of the times I did that, I laid right down into a big fire ant mound, you know, fresh after a hay cut, where they're just really upset. And they just started crawling, like all up my back, around my neck. You know, I had my t-shirt on, so I felt them just crawling up my neck and into my hair. It was the worst experience probably in my entire life, right? I'm ripping my shirt off, I'm batting these things off, they're stuck on, biting. And same thing goes for termites around here. I mean, there are just the nature is just trying to take over, and you've got to be constantly vigilant about keeping the nature back. So things like chainsaws, weed eaters, mowers, pesticides, farm equipment, brush hogs, tractors, all that stuff is an essential part of living out here in the country nowadays without getting taken over. And this does an excellent job there. I'm sure you saw with the piles of dead ants, you know, on the mounds. I don't know if you can hear that right now, but my robot butler is in there vacuuming as we speak. Man, I like that thing. It's running really good. The batteries are doing okay. One thing I did find, you want to make sure to unplug those batteries. If you missed that last video, I got a industrial Roomba, the Makita DRC 200 or something like that. Big industrial size Roomba vacuum type of system from Makita. It's doing very well. Anyways, if you like this type of stuff, farmsteading, homesteading, all the tips and tricks to living out in the woods and surviving, go ahead and subscribe. But whatever you do, get out there, have you some man time too.